Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday morning here, and I'm showing you my Indie, my little work in progress baby. She's looking very cute, but she doesn't really have her personality yet. That comes a bit later when I put all the details in, but I can tell you I'm just absolutely loving painting her. So before we get on to Indie, let me just tell you why I am sending you a video today, being Wednesday morning. The reason is that I didn't work again last night. It was a combination of my foot and my head this time as well. So I thought, well, a double whammy. I may as well just call in and say I can't come. So I did that. I always feel terrible when I don't go to work. I feel, and it hardly ever happens. Like, this is rare, and the only reason I'm letting it happen now is that I have so much holiday leave built up that I don't know if I told you guys this, but the paymaster wanted me to take some holiday leave, so I'm using these days as holiday leave, and hopefully everyone will be happy. And I'm having next Tuesday night off as well, because I have to help my daughter on Wednesday, so I need to sleep on Tuesday night. So that will be 3 weeks in a row I haven't been to work. Very strange. Anyway, it's going to be a beautiful, bright, sunny day today. It's going to be 18 degrees, and we've just found out that last July that we've just had, because today is the 2nd of August, but the July that's just passed is the hottest one on record. So that's a bit scary, isn't it? But no wonder I've been feeling so comfortable and managing this winter so easily. Anyway, so that's the background of everything. I've actually set Indie up on my work table, but she's in front of the window, so I've had to pull the blind down because it didn't look good with all the light coming in from behind, and I've kind of draped her blanket up a bit to try and block a bit of the light too. But I hope you get a bit of an idea. There's not a lot really to see on her yet. I'm always a bit worried about showing works in progress because you don't have an idea at all of what she's going to be like when she's finished at this stage. But I guess it's just one part of the process, isn't it? So I thought I'd come on and show you how she's going. I haven't had time to do anything to her since last week because of the doll fair. It was fantastic. It was 3 really full-on days, because I go on Friday to help with the setup, help the traders and things like that. I'm not the main organiser of the fair. I just feel like I'm a chatter and making sure that everybody's got what they need, just a bit of a backup. So that was Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday were the 2 big days of the actual fair. It was fabulous. I took some still photographs, just a few, and I'll put them at the end of this video, but unfortunately YouTube is getting rid of their editor feature, their YouTube editor feature, and they've already made changes, and I just can't seem to work out how to attach music to the background of the photographs the still photographs that I'm going to show at the end. So when this video goes quiet, in case you're busy cooking or cleaning or whatever while you're listening to me, if it goes quiet, it means that the photos are just scrolling through. So if you want to see them, have a look at the screen then. I just got a couple of reborn stalls photographed and a couple of other ones. It's not great, but it's so hard walking with the stick. And I think the thing that started my migraine was I had the camera around my neck so I could walk with my stick, and that the weight of the camera on my neck is what triggered the migraine. And of course as soon as it started I realised what I'd done, but it was too late by then. So I'm noticing I have low battery, so I might stop now before this camera decides to cut out. This video decides to cut out, and I'll just come back with a better battery. So I'll see you again in a second. There we are, back again with fully charged batteries. I use rechargeable batteries, and I keep my spare batteries always charged, but for some reason I need to recharge them for a short while before I put them in to make sure they're fully charged, so I've been doing that. I also nipped out and did a job. I had to buy 500 disposable cups for the doll club, so I just nipped out and did that, and I'm back again. And I don't remember where we got up to, but you can still see Indy. I haven't moved her. She's in the same position as she was. I'm actually making this little girl to sell, so if anyone thinks they might be interested, you can always let me know. I can just let me know in the comments if you're interested, because I'm toying with whether or not to put her together completely when she's finished with her vinyl body on the outside, because she's a full-bodied baby. She's gorgeous, but she's not as cuddly when that's on. So I'm toying with whether to do that or not. So if anybody's interested in her and knows whether they would like the body off or on, you can let me know. I'm planning to, whoever I send the baby to send spare cable ties anyway. So even if she does go with her body, you can always change your mind and take it off, and then just put her back together again. But anyway, so that's Indy. So, and as I told you, I have her beautiful twin Atticus, and I can't wait to get on to him as well. I know what I was going to tell you about. I was going to tell you about, well, I was going to do Carolyn. I think you're a bit close, aren't you? Because you're not quite seeing the top of her head. Just go out a bit. I don't want to see that edge. How does that look? So it was probably the same as it was. It's just quite a tiny bit. I'm annoyed because I can see my fan at the corner there. If I turn it a little bit like that, I'm not so annoyed, but it's still there. There we go. Yes, I wanted to talk about Canadian Reborn Mama One's tag. That's Carolyn, that she started about summer and what are your favourite summer memories. And part 2 was, do you like the ocean, the lake, or a swimming pool the best? And so I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about the summers that I remember from being a child. I mean, I don't think I was even that aware of summer and winter. I think I was just playing and happy. But I know certainly in the summertime we used to go, because I grew up in Perth, which is on the west coast of Australia. It's the capital of Western Australia. And we used to go to a small island for summer holidays with my cousins and lots of other people that my parents knew. And we used to stay, the island is called Rottnest Island, and it was named that by the people who discovered it because they saw small animals and they thought they must be rats, but they weren't rats. They're marsupial animals that are, I think they're only on Rottnest Island, and they're called quokkas. So that's how the island got its name. But once we got there, our children were just free to roam and play and do whatever we wanted. We used to hire bikes and just ride around the island, and there was one little shop, and I think sometimes we used to go to the shop and buy an ice cream, and we just used to have the best time playing the water, and the grown-ups would be very happy sitting in their cottages. Well, when I say cottages, they were convict built and they were made of sandstone. They were just gorgeous houses, really. They had electricity, because I can remember one year, I think the Commonwealth Games were on in Melbourne, and the grown-ups used to sit around a little black and white television, which was the normal sort of television in those days, and they would be watching it, and us kids would think, oh, how boring, and off we'd go again. But that were very, very happy memories. And I know nowadays, if you want a holiday on Rottnest Island, you have to put your name into a ballot and you get drawn out because so many people want to go. And it's a smallish, well, it is a small island. I mean, us kids could ride from one end to the other. I don't know how long it took. I mean, as a child, you don't pay much attention to that. So that was one of my summer memories. The other one is that where I grew up in Perth was very close to the university. It was in the same street, but it was a very long street, and we were up one end and the university was down the other end. But we were also just a couple of streets away from the Swan River, so we often used to go down to play at the river. It was brilliant. We used to pick up my brother, and I used to collect my cousins. I had 2 boy cousins at that time. I now have 3. And they're actually half cousins, but that's a long story. I have some full cousins who live in Germany. I have 3 over there, a girl and 2 boys. And anyway, so then we used to collect my cousins John and Peter, and off we'd go riding. We used to ride all around the university. We used to ride all around the river. We used to hop off our bikes and just play, and oh, it was fabulous. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I mean, we did that in winter as well, so that's not a particular summer memory. Swimming in the river was a summer memory. We used to have jetties that went out, and used to run along the jetty and jump in the water. And the river wasn't particularly clean. In fact, it wasn't clean at all. But in those days, that was just, you just kind of accepted it. Yeah. So anyway, that's a bit of summer, or sort of summer water memories. And as far as what I prefer, lake or ocean or pool, I have to cop out a little bit because it all depends on circumstances. If I'm in Europe, I prefer a lake. If I am watching my grandchildren play, I love to be at the pool and watch them play and swim. And then if I'm in my home of Perth, I love to either be at the river, at the Swan River, which isn't an option that Carolyn gave us, or the ocean. The ocean over in Perth over in Western Australia is different to the ocean here on the east coast. Here the beaches are not continual, like the coast of Western Australia is just one continual long coastline, so the beaches just go on forever and ever. Here they're more like little inlet kind of beaches. Well, not so little, some of them are bigger, but you can see them from end to end. They're usually surrounded by jutting out kind of rocks that makes an end to them. And also, growing up in Perth, I was always used to the sun setting behind the ocean, because the sun rises in the east, doesn't it, and it sets in the west. And so now that I live here, and I've lived here actually on the east coast much longer than I lived on the west coast, but excuse me, but the west coast still feels like home. I think because I went to school there and uni, maybe that's why, I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, in the east coast, the sun rises over the ocean, and at home on the west coast, it sets over the ocean. So whenever I go back to Perth, I always have to be at the ocean when the sun's setting, so I can see the way things are meant to be, because it's all topsy-turvy over this side, which is so funny. But yeah. So I think I've answered that question in my roundabout way, have I? Yes, I think I have. Like Suzanne said this morning, it's hard to remember what we say. It's just so many words come out. Hopefully I've answered Carolyn's tag. I don't usually do tags, but this one I thought, yes, why not? So I did. Now, I need to tell you that I didn't really buy much at the doll fair. You're probably thinking, what on earth did she get? Well, I didn't get very much because my doll room is so chock-a-blocker that I just didn't. Excuse me again. I always have to do that in a video for some reason. So I didn't really get much. I bought a lovely plain vintage little dress for my new doll who doesn't exist yet. And I bought some reborn supplies, some mohair, and what else did I get? Can't remember because I've put it away now. Isn't that dreadful? It definitely got some mohair. Can't think what else. And the dress for the doll. And I also bought a little petticoat to go under a beautiful knitted set, a vintage set that I bought from someone at the club, that is made with one-ply wool in a beautiful cream colour, and with a gorgeous pattern. But it's quite, it needed, because the stitch is quite open, I needed to get something to go underneath it. And I could have just put a onesie underneath it, but I figured why not do the right thing. So I bought this cream coloured petticoat to go under. And I think that's probably all I bought. I mean, I was so tempted by so many things. I had this list in my head. I'll go back and have another look at that and have another look at that. But in the end, I didn't. And I'm sort of pleased I didn't, because I wouldn't have had anywhere to put the things. So, yeah, I just got to look at them, and other lucky people probably bought them. So that was the doll fair that's come and gone. So after this, when I upload this, you'll see just a few photographs of what I took at the fair. They're not great, and the room is much bigger than what it appears. You can't really tell from the photographs, but it's a very, very huge. It's a function centre, so it's a really vast area, and we cram the tables in. Although there's tons of room to walk in between in the aisles, but there's tables everywhere, and there's little side shoots, and it's really, really lovely. So you won't really get a good feel of that from the photographs, but you get a bit of a look. So I think I might end it here, and if you would like to just hang on, you'll see my photographs. And remember, there's no music behind them, so it'll just be silent. So I think that's all I have to say for now. I hope you've liked seeing my little Indie. She is, I don't even know I wouldn't say she's halfway finished, but she hasn't got all her little details yet, so her nature hasn't appeared. But to me, she looks like a very sweet, gentle little girl. She looks adorable, doesn't she? And I've strategically placed the bow on her poor little sausage. And I just think that's pretty silly to have to do that, because it is just pieces of vinyl when all is said and done. But I don't want to get into trouble, so that's why the little bow's on her. So next time you see her, she'll have some details on her, and you might get more of an idea of what she's going to look like. I'm planning on giving her hair, unless someone's interested in her and just wants painted hair. I can do that. I can do whatever you would like. At this stage, nothing's set in concrete. But if no one contacts me, I'll just go ahead and do her as I see her, and then we'll see what happens. So everybody, I really appreciate you coming to visit me again on this beautiful day. Oh, I know what I have to tell you guys. On Sunday, we had our record hottest day ever for July. It was 26.5 degrees, and that is a winter temperature. It is just ridiculous, because we still consider August as our winter. We have June, July and August as winter. So to have a day of 26.5 degrees Celsius is just absolutely crazy. It was hot. I was melting. I thought, I don't want summer. This is hot. And it felt hot because we're used to much cooler days at the moment. But I just thought I'd let you know that. And so that's all. I'll really stop talking now. I always keep going on and on like that. So I'd just like to say hello to everyone and welcome to my new subscribers, who I think have come across from Suzanne of Suzanne's Babies, because she mentioned me I think in relation to her Sydney that she's just bought. No, not that she's just bought, that she's just received, I beg your pardon, her beautiful little boy. Her twin B to go with her Marianne, who's her twin A that I made. You can see it's been a long morning already, can't you? Anyway, before I make any more mistakes, I might say goodbye again. And I just wish you all a lovely day, night, whatever it is where you are. And please take care. Be kind to each other. Bye bye, everyone.